dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. Practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry. Association, the Northern Virginia Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to
welcome everybody. You are looking live in Northern Virginia, Fairfax to be exact. The lovely lovely studios of DMVSTREAM.COM. I'm your host, Winston Hylton, for another edition of Redskins Relaunch. Oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. So many things that happened over the weekend, especially concerning the Redskins, who was on the field, who was off the field, what happened before the game, what happened after the game. But, let's get to what's going on in the show tonight. Hey, we have progress. That's important, okay? You get to see some of these young guys. They're going out, they're showing out, and they're improving. Players make plays. And we're seeing who our young playmakers could be in the future. So you have to be excited to see some of those things. Are you encouraged by Dwayne Haskins? Are you encouraged by his progress? Because there's no question that Sunday against the Eagles was his best performance as a starter, or really and truly as a professional for the Washington Redskins. We'll also grade Dwayne Haskins on his performance. I got some letter grades coming out for him. Sims, good, and Sims, bad. He did a lot of good things, and he did one bad thing. We'll get to that later on in the show. Who are you rooting for now? Okay, Eagles and Cowboys coming up. Who do you want to win the division? It's pretty easy. Whoever wins that game more than likely has a head up in the NFC East race. All right, Redskins play the Giants this week. It more than likely will be Eli's swan song as far as in the red, white, and blue of New York. So, is it time to just say goodbye to Eli? Can the Redskins send him off into the sunset? Basically with his head down. Or will he be standing tall? We'll get to that later on in the show. Plus, we'll go around the NFL, the Ravens, Saints, the Pats, yada, yada, the same cast of characters. They're doing well. The Nationals, they won and they lost. We'll see what was, which one was bigger, which one was, I guess in the long term, more costly. Capitals, apparently their kryptonite is in Columbus, Ohio. The Wizards, defensively, no, not good. Not good enough. Maryland, we'll talk some college hoops, Maryland and Georgetown. And we also want to know, put this out right now, putting it out in the stratosphere. It's holiday season. Happy holidays to all of you. We want to know some of your favorite holiday movies. I was going to say Christmas movies. It's okay to say Christmas. I say Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy holidays. Rosh Hashanah, Happy Kwanzaa, the whole nine. But I wanted to know some of your favorite holiday movies. So please get at us right now on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube or on Periscope or on Instagram or on Tinder. What's some of the other ones? Cam is hitting the switches over there.
Definitely not Tinder, but all the other ones.
Not Tinder? I'm not. I can't be on Tinder. You can. Our guest may be out. No, our guest can't.
I'm not on it.
I'm not going to speak for anybody. But our guest tonight is he has been on the radio, a show host, 106.7 The Fan. His name is Kevin Shafer at Shafer Media on Twitter. For everybody that wants to know, we hung out with him last night. He and Robert Burton had a hilarious and entertaining sports talk show on WJLA 24/7 News. If you haven't caught that, it should be online, if not now, but it will be soon. We'll be able to post that and send it out to all of our, friends, family, all three of them that are out there. I don't know how many. That's probably yours and mine combined. So it's all good. Kevin, what's up, buddy?
How are you guys doing? Before we get started here, Winston, last night's show was absolutely spectacular, and we'll get into all that too.
It's spectacular.
Yeah,
I like that.
every time that Robert and I get together during the Christmas time, it's always going to be great. But today on the way in here, and I had heard it earlier, but it kind of starts to sink in before we start talking about the Redskins and all that other stuff. Coach Boone.
Yes.
Coach Boone, and I didn't hear you bring it up in your intro, and it's the only reason I'm bringing it up because one of the greatest movies ever.
Yes.
Not sports movies.
Just movies.
Just great movies with Denzel Washington talking about Coach Herman Boone.
Inspiration.
Passed away today.
Yes, he did.
And he was 84 years old, and what he did with those that in 1971 with the area and the way the area was having to go through that turmoil at the time.
Yes.
Was phenomenal. And to see that guy pass away, now the life that he lived was great. And I've met his daughter. I didn't ever get a chance to meet Herman Boone, but I mean, that's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
That he was still, around. A lot of people don't realize that he was still here.
He was still here. He's still in the community. He still does a lot of things.
And I think that him passing away. And I just want to bring it up. And I didn't mean to bring the show down right away here at Christmas, but
it's not down. It's an appreciation.
It is an appreciation.
Absolutely.
If you had to pick a better sports movie.
You know what? We're going to do that. We're going to have to do that one night, whether it be here or somewhere else.
I got you, but that's a tough one to beat.
Yes.
I use all of those clips in my radio show.
Yes.
Like every clip in the movie.
Absolutely.
I don't want them to gain another yard. So
yes.
When you start talking about Herman Boone and that T.C. Williams team, that was pretty awesome. So, but thanks for having me tonight, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks
it's not hot in here.
No. I mean, it's very cold out. It's cold outside. It's very cold outside. We'll get to other movies, including favorite Christmas movie, holiday movies. Come on.
When you told me today we were going to do a Christmas movie, that was easy. 5.
5? Are you sure?
Boom.
Easily contested.
Quick.
I don't know.
If you picked the wrong movies, that's your fault.
Okay.
That's your fault.
I don't know. I'm sure I picked the right movies.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about the Redskins' performance against the Eagles. What did you think about Dwayne Haskins?
So let's talk about winning on and off the field.
Yeah, about the culture.
Let's talk about the whole thing.
Yes.
First of all, I watched the press conference today from Haskins, and Haskins looked to me like he was already irritated with DC media.
He is.
Like seriously, like he almost had that vibe to me as I watched him. I don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
Like, you got to get out of here, Bryce Harper, if you're going to have a problem.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, if you are not used to this, now you're not in San Diego where they go, okay, let's go surf.
Right.
Okay, let's go do something else. You're not in San Francisco where they say, all right, dude, we'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. media.
And welcome to the East Coast.
Right. If you don't answer the question, like if you're in the NFC East, there's nobody in the media that's going to be easy on the NFC East. Yep. It's just not one of those things. You're not at the Rams where they go, all right, well, you didn't want to talk about it, so we're not going to talk about it. When you say, I don't want to talk about it anymore, every reporter in the room
they're going to ask that question.
Wants to keep on you, and 15 people are going to figure out how to ask you the question 15 different ways.
Yes.
And they're going to get the answer out. So you might as well just do a Mike Shanahan and just answer the question.
Answer the question, or, well, if you're Mike Shanahan, you're going to lie about it.
Either one. But if you've got to get it done, but it's better than saying I'm not going to talk about it. You don't take the fifth in Washington.
Yeah.
Right? They'll impeach you.
Yeah. Well, maybe. They might impeach you. I don't know.
The ratings, right? For the ratings today was, what do I watch? So you're sitting here watching Haskins try to talk to the media about his performance and the first time that he played the Giants and the performance that he had on the field with the Eagles. And he said it made me, and I don't know if I've ever heard a player come right out and say, it made me want to throw up.
That's good.
And I'm like, okay.
That's good. That's honest.
It's like, oh, I get you.
Understandable.
I get you. But I think everybody was kind of taken back, instead of saying, hey, it made me sick. It made me throw up.
Yeah.
Like he's at the bar still at Ohio State throwing up.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, and I think that somebody, once Haskins starts to get a little older and his new coach comes in, Urban Meyer, starts to come in here and starts to teach him how to do press conferences, I think that should actually be one of the classes in college.
If you're a primetime athlete, absolutely.
I'm surprised it isn't.
I'm shocked.
I'm surprised it isn't.
Right. Like English, science, press conferences, if you're on the football team, you better learn how to handle yourselves in front of the press.
Yeah.
Especially when you get into the NFL. And I think, and I know we'll probably get to that, the Urban Meyer being in the booth with everybody, but I think that was something to be seen.
Yes.
And,
it caught a lot of eyes.
There's a lot of telling stories here. And I think that as this progresses into the offseason, you're going to start to hear a little bit more about Bruce maybe getting out of here, or he's going to be totally in charge of golf tournaments, right? Somebody else is going to come in here. We're going to have dinners and golf tournaments with Bruce Allen. That's his new title, right? That's his new radio show.
Yes.
Dinners and golf tournaments. And then you're going to have somebody else that actually knows how to scout football, and we're going to have different players surrounding Haskins. Now, Sims, McLaurin, those guys. And if you're Urban Meyer sitting back watching this, you're like, great, I get an Ohio State offense and an Alabama defense.
What's better?
Why aren't we winning?
Yes.
Seriously, why aren't we winning?
Well, we know the reason. Starts at the top.
Right. And like I said last night, that's my very first wish for 2020 is, hey, Santa, can I please get a new GM? And if you can find a new owner, which is probably way down on the list, he's not selling.
Yeah, no.
Not with the billions of dollars that the team is worth. No. So until all that happens, but the new GM will help. And 10 years he's been here. What has he done?
Which was his anniversary of his 10-year hiring was this week. Matter of fact, it was yesterday. So,
and remember, he was around for the Hainsworth stuff.
He was around for Hainsworth. He was around for RG3, good and bad. He was around for Donovan.
Yeah.
McNabb.
John Beck.
Yeah, John. Oh God! Don't get me started.
He's a starter.
Yeah, he is a stud. He and Rex Grossman. So, there are a lot of notches that are on Bruce Allen's belt.
Right.
Not in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
No.
Sort of like
but he had some. He didn't have terrible ones. Sheriff's great. You start talking about some of the other.
But really, whose draft pick was that? Wasn't that
Trent?
Wasn't that
Trent wasn't bad.
Wasn't that McLuhan's?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But McLuhan was another disaster.
Well,
yeah. All right. Trent, I pick you. All right, somebody give me a drink.
Yeah. Both of them.
I know.
Both of them. The same.
So no, I mean, the whole entire organization has been upside down. I don't want to call it a disaster, but it's been upside down since Dan has brought Bruce Allen in, or even Dan has purchased this. But, and until that happens, there has to be a culture change all the way across the board. The best thing to do would be to get out of the way and be like Johnson & Johnson and own the Oakland A's and get out of here.
Just
chill
on your yacht. Chill on the boat.
Go somewhere else and let somebody actually run football operations. Whether or not it's Riddick, whether or not you bring him back, whether or not it's Doug Williams, just because he's a people person. But have somebody else take care of football operations.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Let's hear from Bill Callahan from his post-game press conference after the game against the Eagles. Here's what he had to say. It was again, like Kevin said, it was sort of like 15 different answers to the same question that kind of sounded similar.
Yeah.
Let's play a little bit of Bill Callahan post-game.
It's unfortunate, we played our hearts out, and they made the plays we didn't make. We just didn't make the plays at the end that we needed to make to finish off and top off the game. Everybody played their hearts out. Everybody gave a great effort today. Like I told the team, I really appreciate them. I love them all. They, most teams that are in the situation we're in, they quit. They just flat quit. I saw no quit in our team. I saw a lot of fight. I saw a lot of spirit. I love those guys, and we just got to get ready for next week. Yeah, I thought a lot of guys stepped up. Ryan stepped up. I thought our whole defense stepped up today. We played aggressive, made a lot of plays. A lot of plays like that back, but I thought the effort was there, but just wasn't good enough at the end. This team has a lot of heart, a lot of spirit. We're playing a lot of young guys. I just thought that it's a divisional game. It's an important game because it is our division, and we haven't done quite well, and so I thought that was a huge challenge coming in. I think we're like 2-14 now against the NFC East, which isn't a very good record. So yeah, a lot of improvement. We got a lot of road ahead of us, so hopefully it's a good start competitively. But at the end of the day, it's just not good enough. It ain't good enough.
That Bill Callahan, he's very wordy. Says the same thing, in so many words, 15 different ways, the same way. Basically, those were all answers to different questions about different performances from different players, and they were all answered the same way. And I'm like, wait, did he just say the same thing again and again?
Yeah, you know what that is? That's all DC. That's the DC two-step. And congratulations,
Good
Bill.
Politician.
Congratulations, Bill. There's going to be an opening probably at the top. You can go.
What? Yeah, absolutely.
You can get into this. So at some point in time, and you know what? Bill's been around a long time.
Yes.
And he kind of got forced into this. He's not used to doing press conferences. Well, he doesn't want to do them.
Not recently. Correct.
Yeah. So he doesn't. You know what? I'm coming out here to coach defense.
Yeah, he's not like Jay, where Jay's, he's shooting the breeze, kind of kicking it or whatever.
And Jay was much more comfortable at doing these press conference situations and handling the media and understanding what's going to happen here in D.C. And I think, Jay being who Jay is and understanding being in that Gruden family, being around his brother, I think some people just handle the media a little bit better.
Yeah. What's funny, it's just every press conference that he has, it's always at least 16 minutes. 3 questions. 5 minutes per answer. And you're like, wait, dude, I can't use this in a minute 30 sports segment. Like,
nope.
Come on, bro.
And I think he does that on purpose.
Of course he does.
He's like, this is fun. I'm gonna mess with it.
I'm just gonna we're talking about self-scouting. So, wait, what? Self-scouting? Come on, bro. So Callahan, he talked about one of those answers was about Dwayne Haskins, and he didn't go as far as to say, he played well, but today in his press conference, Bill did say, he liked his progression. He was able to read defenses more. He was a lot more confident. So when you look at it through coach's eyes, do you think Dwayne is progressing?
Oh yeah, you know what this is? This is totally Any Given Sunday.
Yes.
Dwayne Haskins is Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you watch Any Given Sunday, if you actually want to know what Haskins is doing in the first 2 games that Fox plays in Any Given Sunday,
Yeah.
he's vomiting.
throwing up all over,
yeah, and everything's moving so fast, and then it starts to get into slow motion. I guarantee you see a different Haskins here as he runs through progressions, and almost sometimes a little too slow against the Eagles. Like it's starting to slow down. It's like you need to snap your head around and start paying attention, and understanding where your 2s and your 3s, where'd the X go, where'd the Y go, and try to figure out where your receivers are going and be on the same page with those guys. Now, playing in college with him, with McLaurin at least, and understanding what's happening, I think those 2 are going to be unbelievable.
Right.
And not understanding some of the other guys, you don't have some of the big name tight ends, and that'll be back next year maybe.
Right. Now, do you think Dwayne is do you think he's, as far as his comfortability, he's being comfortable? Do you think he's there? Because were you one of those ones where you was like don't play him, or were you just like play him? Because it seems as if from his first even performance against the Giants to now, it's like night and day.
It is night and day, and I don't think he's ready. And the funny thing is I was sitting telling somebody the other day that I don't even know if he's an NFL quarterback. We haven't seen a lot of people transition to that type. It's like we usually find the guys that are NFL quarterbacks in the 6th round.
Right.
It's very odd that and far and few between that a number 1 comes out and is lights out right away.
Right.
But some of them are, but it's always the guys that we hype up. I mean, RG3 was good for a season.
Yes.
And we saw that he was fragile right away. And how long did it take Lamar Jackson to get to where he's at? And you had to,
How long?
No, but it was still was still over a season.
Yes.
And you still had to get rid of Joe, and you still had to move some folks out. And then all of a sudden somebody sees him practice. Hey, this guy's real. Hey, I understand. And now you get Flacco with an injury, and now we got to play him. And all right, this is the same way with Ben. When Ben Roethlisberger got in, he got in because somebody was hurt. Same way with Brady. Brady got in because Bledsoe.
Yep.
Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Yeah.
So who knows if those guys aren't hurt?
Wally Pipp.
Yeah. So
Wally Pipp.
Right. So
kids, if you don't know, Google him, please.
yeah. So those guys. So Haskins is in. And now he has to show me that he can be an NFL quarterback, not just a college quarterback. And we're sitting here watching the option. And I mean he's running it, and it's exciting to watch.
Yeah.
But I thought I was watching Saturday football.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, if it worked, but the thing is, if he's comfortable, and this is why I always tore Jay, because he was not coaching to the strengths of his players.
Sure.
He was just plugging and playing to his system, and these guys, obviously, apparently, were not good players for his system. So why not coach to your talent and your strength?
If right now, though, if you had a chance, if Colt came back, would you play Colt?
No.
If Smith came back, would you play Smith?
I would think about it.
And that's
I would think about it.
So until I feel like no on every answer,
Correct.
Until I feel that nope, Haskins is my guy. But I mean, this is probably a bad question with 1 game left in the season.
Yeah. No, if you're going into next year,
and
obviously
you're playing the Giants who can't beat Stonewall Middle, But if you can't, if you're sitting here, right now, if you had 6 games to go and you had a shot because the NFC East is terrible, and Smith comes back or it's Haskins, you take Smith. Right? And until my answer is Haskins all the way, then I don't know if he's ready to play in this game.
We'll see. We'll see. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We got Maurice Hawkins chiming in. Chip Briere is watching. Hey, big old Chippers.
Yep.
He's checking us out. Colvin Underwood, thank you guys for watching. Maurice, going back to the Urban Meyer saga.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's just set that up. Okay, so during the Eagles game, there were several shots of the broadcast of Urban Meyer. Where was he sitting? He was sitting in the owner's box with Daniel Snyder, talking with his former quarterback. No, not Dwayne Haskins, who was on the field. No, he was talking with his former quarterback from Utah, his Utah coaching days, with Alex Smith, number one draft pick of the 49ers way back in the day. I guess it was what, maybe 2000 and
It's been in the league
6, 7, 5, something like that. Yeah. So it's been a long time since those two had, I guess been publicly seen together. But either way, they were discussing things in the owner's box. And all of a sudden, you see that shot on the Fox broadcast, and oh boy, Twitter went wild. So you start seeing a whole bunch of stories, pictures, tweets, this, that, and the other about, is he the next head coach of the Washington Redskins? So we also brought this up, and there are plenty of stories out there. It just makes sense for Urban Meyer to come here. He's got the Ohio State thing. He's got Dwayne Haskins, his former quarterback that he recruited from Bullis High School. He has Terry McLaurin, another former player. So like Kevin said, you have your Ohio State offense and your Alabama defense. How do you
How are we
lose
losing?
games in the future? How do you lose games if you're a coach, if you come here in the future? So a couple of different storylines to this whole thing. And Ben Standig from The Athletic put out a great post earlier today, yesterday, talking about are things really perfect between? Is this a perfect match? Because there are some rumors out there that Urban and Dwayne are not the best of friends.
Right. Well, I think as soon as the season's over, there are going to be two people trying to get Urban Meyer. You're going to see Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder.
Yeah.
And I think that the battle off, this is what I was telling you, trying to battle off the field this year, is this battle is going to be big.
Yes.
Because I don't think Garrett stays as the Cowboys head coach. Now, Jerry Jones can say all he wants.
Unless.
If they make the playoffs.
If they make the playoffs, it's still questionable. But if he can get to a championship game, that's beside
Make a run.
Yeah, if he makes that's beside the point. But go back to your point.
I'm just saying that they're both going to go after Urban, and I think right now that's currently happening. I think Jerry can say all he wants, but at least Jerry's still in the mix right this very second. Dan Snyder knows that he needs to do something to try to bring a head coach in here. Yeah. And I think that if you could get Urban. Now, Urban kind of scares me a little bit because every time Urban's left a job somewhere, it's always been
shambles.
I'm sick, right?
Yeah.
I'm sick. My family needs me, something to leave, right? And every time he's left, it's been issues.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, and I feel, you know what? Every time for the last 25 years that this team has changed head coaches, I almost feel sorry for the guy that gets the job.
Yes. Yeah.
I do. I was like, everybody around, with Jay Gruden, Mike Shanahan.
Yeah.
We get pumped up, and I just feel bad for him.
Because you think all of a sudden Super Bowl right there.
Because he does not know what's going to happen behind the scenes. You and I, who have been in this city forever, in the media, behind the scenes, in the locker room, answering the questions, because those guys have been taking care of their programs.
Yes.
Those guys have been taking it, and now they'll see clips of here and there, but they don't know, like we know, unfortunately, what's going to happen.
Yes.
I almost just want to look at every coach that takes a job and go, dude, are you serious? You really want to put you and your family through this? Apparently. You want to do this? Now, hey, if you can get paid, get paid.
Yes.
Get your money.
Yeah.
I got you. After you get your money, at the end of this,
your legacy is tarnished. Your legacy is tarnished. Yes.
You're going to be the special teams coach for,
Florida Atlantic.
Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly.
Or Stonewall Jackson High School.
Yes, you're going to be somebody's, the coach. You may just be playing golf.
And at that point,
so.
Sure,
but hopefully you have enough money to retire on, because when you get out of here, where's Jay Gruden?
Oh, he's going to be in Vegas next year with Brohams.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely. And Cole will be out there too.
Okay.
It's a fit.
Right.
We're talking about puzzle pieces.
I don't know. Could you work with your brother?
If I had a brother, probably, yeah.
Could you?
I don't know.
Yeah. Could you work with family? No. Could you work with your family?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Sometimes it's a little bit hard because this is the same thing that happened with Mike and Kyle when they were here, and this is what I used to talk about because those guys. Remember when Mike and Kyle were here? It was in shambles.
Yes.
Shambles. And the biggest thing was, what are you guys going to talk about at Thanksgiving? What are you guys going to talk about at Christmas?
RPOs.
Yeah, I mean,
back engrossment.
Do you guys like each other?
Yes.
You know, because after press conferences where they would bash each other.
You got to talk to the wives.
Yeah.
They would be the ones that know. Maurice Hawkins chiming in. I think Urban Meyer used his visit to D.C. for leverage for something else other than head coach of the Redskins.
Yeah.
Bingo. You agree with Kevin Shafer, Maurice. Yeah. Another comment was from Colvin Underwood. He says, you cannot, no way hire Urban Meyer. His behavior at the end of his time at OSU was disgraceful. Let a desperate college hire that clown.
I'm telling you, this is the typical Dan Snyder. This is how Dan Snyder handles this situation. Yeah. I need a big splash. I need a guy that's going to understand the guys that were playing for him before. This is exactly what's going to happen. We're going to hire Urban Meyer. We're going to give him 400 acres in Ashburn or something, whatever. Yeah. And this guy's going to stay here for 2 years, no matter what. He'll be here for 2 years, even if we go 0-16. And he'll give him 2-year shot. And at the end of that 2 years, he'll be fired, and we'll be doing this all over again. We'll be having the same conversation in 2022.
That's the only reason why Jay Gruden was around here for so long. That's probably the only reason why Bruce Allen was around here for so long was because of Dan Snyder's history of just boom, boom,
Adios.
boom. You got to go, got to
Now
go, got to
he's
go.
now he's back into axe mode. I'm
Yeah.
going to axe everybody that comes through. If they don't win in 2 years, we're out of here.
Happy balance, Mr. Snyder. Happy balance.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We're here with Kevin Shafer. We'll talk about more about Dwayne Haskins, more about the Redskins and the young guns that were performing against the Eagles. Can they do the same against the Giants? Would you actually take a same type of deal against the Eagles? Because there are two sides to this coin. Would you take a great performance and a loss, or great performance and a win? We'll talk about that when we come back on Redskins Relaunch. We'll be right back.
This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry.
All right, welcome back to Redskins Relaunch. We're back here in the lovely homes of the DMVSTREAM.COM studios in Northern Virginia. We're joined by Kevin Shafer at Shafer Media on Twitter. Kevin Shafer on the Facebook. Yes, I said the Facebook.
Because you're 80.
Yes, I look good for 80. There's nothing wrong with
you're
that.
old.
This plastic surgery is a beast, man. Plastic surgery is fantastic.
The Facebook,
yeah,
the Instagram.
the Facebook, the Twitters. When you start adding the and the S's at anything, you're
That's
like,
right.
yeah, it's
Still
the churches.
playing Pac-Man,
Yeah,
not Fortnite.
The Popeyes
Yeah,
and the
I got you.
McDonald's. Like, whoa, gosh, the Nintendos. Oh, boy.
Ataris.
Yes. Oh, man. See, you're bringing that back. It's funny. Vernon Davis said, what was his favorite Christmas gift? He said Atari. I was like,
Yeah.
Vernon, you're not that old for Atari. You
No.
may have gotten, like, the Atari when the Super Nintendo came out.
Yeah, the Atari Advanced. Not
Yeah,
like when you and I were a kid with the single joystick and
man, you
one
just
red
had
button.
One button.
One red button.
No, bro. You seen it?
There's no A, B, C, and D's and the thumbs
Yeah,
and the
no,
fingers.
no. You had one button. That was it. Now you got 16 buttons on one
Yeah.
controller, and you're
we were
like,
playing Asteroid.
I can't even. That's why I don't even play video games, because I'm scared my 8-year-olds are going to beat me.
They are.
Like, yeah, no, they have, and they
will
will.
beat you, yeah.
No, I'm good. That's right.
Scared,
It's-
though,
yeah, if they want to play me in basketball,
Yeah.
let's do that now.
Yeah.
Now.
No, I mean, would it, like, not to derail it because the question you just asked me, but my girlfriend just bought something for her niece that I would have never gotten as a kid. Like, to me, I wanted a football, basketball, baseball, and something Batman or Star Wars that I could probably destroy. She bought the niece today robotics. Like, how to build a computer.
Right.
You know what I'd have done with that? That'd have
Yeah.
been in the closet.
Yeah,
Like,
in the closet, or you would have taken
But that's the
pieces of
difference
it.
between because now in 2 years she's going to know how to build computers, and I'm going to still trying to throw a spiral.
Yes.
So
And guess what? You know what I can do?
Yeah.
Sure, have her build a computer. I'm
Yeah.
going to go to Best Buy,
Right.
and I'll buy my computer.
I'm going
Thank
to
you
get
very
that
much.
dude to fix it for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Her. She's going to make it for me
Geek
for
Squad.
500,000.
The Geek Squad. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. All right. More of your comments. Thank you very much, everybody. They apparently have noticed some cups on the table. Chip Riere saying, he just wants to figure out what's in the venti cup.
Chip, this one is vodka.
It's vodka.
This
That's a
one-
large cup. That's a large cup.
This
of vodka.
one is in case we go till midnight. And
Yeah.
So,
No.
And this one is a chaser.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
that's a good chaser.
Thanks,
it's like
Chip.
moonshine and vodka and
That's
a whole
right.
bunch of things. Yes, Chip, you're correct. It's not the peppermint mocha.
No.
What did you call this thing? Peppermint mocha latte.
No, because
That's like-
nobody
that's like
nobody
8
goes
drinks.
with you that.
No, it's like 8 drinks. You don't want to do that. You will be up until next Friday.
Yes.
All right. So back to the Redskins and Redskins relaunch. Look, we got to grade Dwayne Haskins, and what I've been doing on the show has been grading some of his elements of his
Well, I
game.
can tell you asked me before we went to break if I was would I rather see a good performance or would
Yes.
I rather see the win? And even if we lost, I'm always going to want to win. I can't stand losing. And I don't really care about the performance as long as I win the football game. After I win, I can go back and tell people how to fix their performance to try to correct some of the things that we accidentally ended up with a win. We would have accidentally ended up with a win we won the Miami Dolphin game.
Yes.
I was cool with that.
Yes.
Right? We won the Miami
Accidentally.
Dolphins.
Yep.
That was by accident.
Yep.
That was
Absolutely.
go for 2. If you're the
Absolutely.
Miami Dolphins, you go
That's
for
fine.
2 because you're going for number 1 on the draft.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you got better at the end of the year, and now the Bengals are going to pick first.
Yes.
Right? So, I mean, we're what, top 3? Top 4? In the
We're
pick?
top 3. We're
right
3
now,
as of right now. So
Yeah,
this
we're
game
3.
will decide 3 and 4.
Right, so
that's why I
actually-
see that question.
You start pulling for the Dolphins. I'm pulling for the Dolphins to start winning football
Dolphins
games.
and the Bengals.
'Cause-
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, the Bengals you can't pass right now, right? They're like 1 in 20 or something. Yeah, like so.
Look, if they win the next 2 games,
Well,
we're tied.
Well, okay.
Touchdown.
So I will start pulling for them.
Yes, absolutely.
So, but as you start to see this team progress, I like the performance on Sunday against the Eagles, but it didn't seem killer. I need to step on somebody's throat. I need to win the game.
Yes.
I need to hustle. I wanted to see Haskins get into more of a 2-minute drill earlier in the game. Let's not wait till the last 3 or 4 minutes. Let's start doing this with 10 minutes left to go.
Right.
Let's start some sort of urgency. Don't stick around. Don't let somebody hang around to kick a field goal to beat you. You start getting into this 2-minute drill. Start getting the defense tired. You can already see that they can't hang with McLaurin. They can't stay with Sims.
Yes.
So let's start trying to figure these things out. We didn't try to address any of that throughout the whole football game.
Yes.
So I think that as soon as Haskins can start figuring out this 2-minute drill and start to have no huddles, because every play was no, and I'm like, come on, let's go, let's pick it up,
Yes.
let's pick it up,
Yes.
let's pick it up, and it didn't start until later on in the game, and it's like it's too late. He's not into this. He doesn't understand the rhythm. Fix the rhythm in the second and third quarters to be ready for that last 2 minutes.
Now, one thing I will give Dwayne a lot of credit for is that you don't see delay of game penalties.
Well,
You don't see those, at least as far as he's
Right.
concerned. He will call that timeout, or Callahan did that on Sunday,
Sure.
calling a timeout with the play clock going down
Yeah.
to 0. But you see the plays coming into the huddle, and he gets it in and out, and that's one thing that Terry McLaurin did say today in the locker room. He said that Dwayne has improved so much with just calling plays in the huddle, getting in and out of that huddle, which is so important because you have seen it under Jay Gruden so many times where it's a delayed game penalty and the quarterback is like, I can't hear you, I can't.
Yeah. You were 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, you get a delay of game.
and
And now
you're
you're
out of-
pushed
you're
back.
out of-
Now
you're
you're
done.
3rd and 7,
Exactly.
and right? And we know how our percentage was like the 32nd in the league at third down percentages. You know, so it's like it's been terrible. But I like that Haskins is in and out of the huddle. I don't mind that. I saw him a couple of times where he had to be saved, by Callahan, or he's called timeout, so we wasted timeouts. At least he's watching the clock. He's not just zoned in and has blinders on.
Correct.
So he's seeing the whole field. He's seeing who the mic is. He's understanding the clock. He's trying to read the ends for the options and seeing who's crashing and who's not crashing. So he's going to pick up on all this. The funny thing is you would think coming out of Ohio State that he would understand all of this.
Thank you.
You would think that
Yes.
you wouldn't have
Yes.
to be taught this.
Yes.
Like this. You didn't come from Appalachian State.
Yes.
You came from
Yes, you came from a
Ohio
top 5
State
program.
where the clock is still ticking.
Yes.
Where there's probably I would probably say in the time that he was at Ohio State, he probably had 5 times the amount of people in the stadium being as loud at that stadium than it ever will be at RF or at FedEx.
RFK or FedEx.
Yeah, well, not RFK. When I was at RFK,
Yeah,
that place you
Yeah,
couldn't
it was
hear.
rocking.
That place was right, and it was all right. Like I couldn't believe the amount of noise after Eagles first downs and Eagles touchdowns at FedEx Field.
That's
That's the norm now.
That's a conversation for
That's
another
the norm
4-hour
now.
show.
Yeah.
Yes, we can go into that quite a bit. So let's grade Dwayne.
Okay.
I grade him on certain criteria: pocket awareness, reading defenses, pass
Okay.
protection, and
Yeah.
then overall pocket awareness. I ended up giving him an A because he did understand. He didn't take as many sacks as he has in the past. He was able to adjust the protections pre-snap as well as adjust and slide in the pocket during the game against the Eagles. So I gave him an A in that aspect.
I give him a B.
Okay.
And I almost probably a B minus because until we win a football game and he stands in there and stands, and reads his options quicker. Hey, you're the X, you're the Y, and I want to see that slant or I want to see that. Now, in understanding that pressure, the reason I think his pocket presence right now for you is an A is because he's a big boy. And he doesn't get sacked a lot. Now, he gets hit a lot, and you're not going to arm tackle him. Like, you don't really realize how big Haskins is. I mean, the only way to compare him is put him next to Ben. Put him next to Roethlisberger and see, or put him next to Rodgers and see how big this guy is. But when you see him next to our receivers, he towers our receivers.
Yeah.
Like, he makes Sims look like a tiny tot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sims can't reach the pedals in his car.
Yeah.
So it's like when you see Haskins like that, then you understand why he can stand in there. But as you get in there, the presence needs to understand where the receivers are, the zones are, where the linemen are coming at him. I'm going to give him a B minus.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Reading defenses. which was good against the Eagles. He got off those primary reads when he needed to. When he needed to get to the secondary and third receivers, he was able to do that. So I gave him a B in that aspect. What say you?
I'll give him a C+. Okay. I think his receivers bailed him out a lot. I think this time there was a couple of times there were some big drops too that I think have to be caught late in the game. I think as a quarterback this time I didn't see him get discouraged by the drops before, and it bothers me so bad to see a young quarterback throw a temper tantrum on the field. And it's the little ones.
Yeah.
Like Brady throws them, but he composes himself when the receiver comes back. When you see the guy give the hand motion, and I'm telling you to go.
Yes.
But when I see the quarterback bang his helmet or, give the look up in the air, and it's like, look, settle down because your receiver can see that.
Yes.
The second that receiver thinks that you're disgusted with him, I may not run that route. I may not try.
Yes,
so I'm a little irritated with you because you threw it behind me. This is more your fault than my fault. So, if you'd have thrown every pass perfect today, we'd be winning. You threw me one good pass, I dropped it, my bad, let's get to the next one. Now, they got to be caught, but don't throw a temper tantrum.
Right.
So I think, reading that and understanding that, I think his receivers bailed him out a lot in those defenses, and that's why I'm going to give him that grade.
Okay. Pass protection, I would say B. Overall, he got pre-snap, he got the linemen there where they needed to be, with the exception of a couple of plays. But overall, I thought he was able to line up his offensive line and get those protections called in a timely manner, as well as the right slide. So, in that aspect, you see him progressing, and you see him progressing in the right fashion. Hopefully that continues in the offseason. But, like you said, wait, you came from a top 5 program, and you're just learning all of these things.
Yeah.
But, pass protection.
Yeah, Ohio State's getting blitzed by Michigan. Ohio State's getting blitzed by Penn State. It's not getting blitzed by FSU, or by Falmouth University.
Yes.
We're not.
Bradford.
We're not getting blitzed by those guys.
Yeah.
So, I think that he did okay. I think the offensive line bailed him out a little bit too. I think those guys having some more experience than he has, and I think that obviously calling out the mic so everybody understands who's coming. Which I saw him change the plays a couple of times. But moving him in and out of the pocket helps those linemen. I think that the offensive line, in the way he put them in different positions, I think he did okay on that. I'll give him a B.
Yeah, okay. And then overall, it would have been an A had they won.
A?
It would have been an A had they won.
What are you teaching? What class do you teach?
Arts and crafts. It's on a curve. Imagine the students. Imagine the students that we've had in the past. We've had Robert. We've had John Beck.
Hang on. What grade would you give Brady?
Oh, I mean, he's A++.
See, there's no pluses. What report card did you get?
There's a 100. Again, like I said, look at the students. Look at the students that the Redskins have had over the past several years.
Okay, but let's think about when you start giving out those grades. What grade do you give Aaron Rodgers?
Again, another A.
A. So you think Haskins losing to the Eagles?
Like I said, had he had won, I may have given him an A. I said had he had won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
So what are you giving him now? A C?
I said no. Yeah, I said exactly. I said had he had won, he would have gotten an A.
Okay.
But he lost, so I got to give him a B-.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give him a C.
Okay.
You lost. I'll say you had an average performance. I'm still not sold as an NFL quarterback. You're going to have to show me a lot more. You're going to have to start winning consistently like a Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar picked it up his second year and understood the game. Things slowed down for him. As soon as you can move around like Lamar, I think that's the way everybody is going. And as long as you can stay healthy. But you start handing out those grades, he's got to be C.
No. I'm
C, and especially since it was a loss. I'm still that guy, even though I'm a homer when it comes to the Skins, and I'm going to stay with them forever, which I have no idea why I'm doing. Every year. Every year. I can't wait for the offseason so we can start winning. So, because it's great in the offseason, I'm a C on this last game because he kept it close, and I think he did improve. I saw him throwing much better, more velocity, understanding the defenses, over top of defenders' hands, just barely understanding how to drop it in. I thought that was much better.
Yeah, I think that's primarily why he got the B-, because you saw him improve. Compared to the first game, second game, he's improved quite well. So that's you give him his B, you give him his confidence boost.
And he should have an A performance against the Giants.
He should.
An A performance against the Giants. They can't beat anybody.
Well, they can beat the Dolphins.
Well, they can beat us.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Well, that was
so. There are 3 wins: Dolphins and the Redskins. That's what you
Daniel Jones. That'll be bad. All right, let's take another quick break. We'll go over around the NFL. Plus, we'll have what are your favorite Christmas movies? We have some
Can't wait.
We have some contenders already lined
Finally,
up
something I know.
on Facebook. So we'll get to that after the break. It's Redskins Relaunch. We'll be right back.
This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry. This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr. Stephen Price has been practicing dentistry in Northern Virginia. A member of the American Dental Association, the Northern Virginia Dental Society, and the Virginia Dental Society, Price is considered an expert in Invisalign and continues to be an award-winning innovator in the industry.
All right, welcome back to Redskins Relaunch. We're here with Kevin Shafer, Shafer Media on Twitter. All right, let's take a look around the NFL, man. Ravens
Okay.
look good.
Fantastic.
But I mean, it's the Jets.
Look, real quick, right now, Super Bowl for you, right now. You had to pick it. I love putting you on the spot, Winston.
That's fine. Ravens, Seahawks.
Okay, I was going Ravens, New Orleans.
Okay. I think you see the Ravens. I think the Ravens are pretty much the best team in the league.
Sure.
But in the NFC, you could
and
go either
Brady
way.
doesn't have enough weapons.
Yeah. Niners, Seahawks, Saints, either one of those three teams could probably make it out of the
And
NFC.
you watch out, Green Bay, watch out. Watch out.
I know that defense.
Watch out.
Their defense.
You know who I really want it to be? I would love to see the Buffalo Bills. I would love to see them somehow come away with a win against the Ravens and get all the way there. Only because my guy's on there. Only because he's been nominated.
Absolutely. That's Walter Payton Man of the Year.
For the 5th time.
Yes.
From 3 different teams.
Right.
So he was nominated as Arizona, he was nominated here, and is nominated in Buffalo.
I tell you what, Lorenzo Alexander is.
Is there anybody better than that guy?
Is a great American and a great football player and a great community servant.
I mean, the Aces Foundation is just probably one of the best things. And his best friend, Kendrick Golson, who used to play for the Washington Redskins, with Every Child Fed, is just another great guy also. So those two, 1 and 2, probably just the best dudes in the league.
I talked to Kendrick just last week. Good guy. He was on our Sunday show. So it was he's a great guy. We will we'll continue that conversation a little bit later on. Jameis Winston, what do you think of this guy?
I don't like Jameis.
Okay.
I think Jameis needs to find another home. I don't know if this is the right fit for him. And it's funny because I'm kind of attached to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just because my dad lives down there.
Right.
So my dad and I have to stay up on the team because my dad wants to talk sports. I don't know why. My dad wants to talk sports.
And about the
I want to talk
Buccaneers?
about going to the beach and going out on the boat, and he wants to talk about the Buccaneers. But I think Jameis needs to find a new home. I think the Buccaneers need to start finding a new quarterback and start trying to move in a different direction. I just don't think Jameis is going to bring him there, especially with the weapons that he has with Evans.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you losing football games with probably one of the best receivers in the game right now?
Yeah, Mike Evans.
Yeah.
You have Chris Godwin, who was on my fantasy team.
Yep.
Yeah, except he's hurt now in the championship game.
Oh.
So yeah, that kind of stinks.
Salty.
I'll go over my fantasy team a little bit later on. But he did. Look, the thing about Jameis is that he's going to put it up. He's a gunslinger.
No, he throws them.
He will throw 5 touchdowns and he'll throw 5 interceptions.
That's right.
Which is, great for fantasy purposes. So in that aspect, go ahead, keep on going, player. The Texans, they're one of those scary teams that, you know what, if they catch some kind of some heat, they might be on a roll. They beat Tennessee, and they right now
Tennessee was one of the hottest teams in football.
Yes,
between
Ryan
the Ravens
Tannehill.
and Tennessee. He was actually, and everybody's been hot to trot on the Tennessee Titans, but you're right. The Texans are one of those teams where you don't know which which Texans team is coming.
Yes.
So it's hard to prepare for those guys, but I really like Texas.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a quarterback like Deshaun Watson, they're going to be pretty good. Seahawks again, they look good, but again, they were playing the Panthers.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who've given up.
Right.
The Packers, they beat the Bears. One of your scary teams that you just alluded to a second ago.
Yeah.
So they kind of have a clinch hold on the NFC North. Vikings, 7 turnovers forced against the Chargers. What is the Chargers? One of those teams that they always have that talent.
I think Philip needs to go do something else.
I'm kind of with you. He's got like 90 children. So
Right. No, but you know what's funny is if some other team could use Philip Rivers to probably get into the playoffs. I don't know if he'll win them a Super Bowl, but a team that needs a good quarterback. But you know what Philip's going to be really good at is in the booth. He's actually really good on air. He understands the game. I think he's another Tony Romo.
I love his. If anybody's seen his conversation, that Twitter video that came out this week where he was trash talking a Jaguar defender, so classic. He's so good, and everybody always comments that no matter how much trash talking he does, he never curses.
No,
I'm
telling you, Philip Rivers is going to be good in the booth.
It's like Steve Harvey of
Yeah.
comedy. Like he does everything, just doesn't curse.
I mean-
sorry, not Steve Harvey. Sinbad.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Sinbad.
Or Will Smith.
Or yeah.
No,
Will
but
Smith, basically, yeah.
But I mean, when you start talking about over the grand scheme of things, is there another quarterback besides Tony Romo that has gone into the booth that you would think is better than Tony Romo or Philip Rivers would be?
Peyton Manning. Other than Peyton
Manning. You
Yeah.
think Peyton Manning would be in there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think Dan Fouts was pretty good.
Yes, Dan Fouts was good.
I think Dan Fouts, when you came out and those guys were good. So there are certain people that are designed to be up in that booth that can talk the game and talk it to us.
Yes.
They can explain it to us.
Another one I think that would be really good is probably Chris Cooley.
And I listen to Chris.
Yeah.
I think Chris is
He's really good.
he's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Or he can coach, which he'd probably be better at.
And you know who I really want to coach? This is no joke, and I've tried to talk to him about it for the last 10 years because he really is passionate about it. I think B. Mitch.
Yes.
I think Brian Mitchell needs to go coach.
Yeah.
I think he should be on the Redskins squad somewhere coaching. He
Yes.
doesn't want to deal with Dan Snyder.
He doesn't. He still holds a grudge. He's a guy that you would think holds a grudge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with Dan
I would
Snyder.
think so.
The team gets sold, you watch B. Mitch come back.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't see that happening. Cowboys, you hate talking about the Cowboys when they win a game, but they dismantled the Rams, who couldn't do anything on offense. That Cowboy defense looked pretty good.
No, and I think, last year McVay had a little, had that upstart, and
Yeah.
he was the new guy, and he and Shanahan were the two young guns, and here comes McVay, and I think that the weapons are not there. I don't know what's going on with Hurley this year, and there's too many turnovers for the Rams. As I watch, because I'm pulling for the Rams, I like McVay, and he was a good guy to us and talked to me a lot when he was here. So, I'm pulling for those guys, but after what the Dallas Cowboys did, I just don't know if they have the weapons.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. But you always hate to see the Cowboys win. So
I hate the Cowboys, so
All right.
I'm actually pulling for the Eagles.
No.
Even though that's probably the worst thing ever. You can't wish for both buses to crash on the way there.
yes, you can. Yes, you can. No, you can. Why can't this game end in a tie?
All right, they could.
Why
They
not?
could. I'm down with
Let's
that.
do it.
I'm
Let's
down
do
with
it. Let's all root for a tie between
right.
the Cowboys and the Eagles
down
this
with
week,
that.
this Sunday. That's
All right.
totally fine. Drew Brees sets a record, 540 touchdowns.
Again.
Is he the greatest of all time?
He's not the greatest of all time.
Cam says no.
No,
You
no,
say
no.
no. I say no.
No.
Okay.
Not the greatest of all time.
Debate settled. All right. What we wanted to get into right now. Favorite Christmas movies. We got some on Facebook.
First of all, what'd you ask for Christmas? Did you get anything?
I don't really ask for anything.
You're not like
I
that?
just asked for health.
Santa was there last night.
Santa was there. I just asked for health. And
Did you
and
talk to Santa? Did you ask him for anything?
I talked to
Headlight?
Santa.
You didn't want a headlight?
No, I didn't need a headlight. Me and Santa, we talked about the Giants. So
Yeah?
I know where his heart was.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
He's a New
we-
York Santa.
Yeah. We don't. So that's why I couldn't really get into it with
Right, I
Santa
got you.
because I knew that I was just going to get a lump of coal. So and I was a good boy this year. I was a really good boy.
Yeah.
So all right, Christmas movies. All right.
Let's
so-
just do it this way though. You do
Okay.
your 5, I'll do my not the whole 5.
Oh,
number 5.
Let's get interactive with some of
okay.
our people's on.
I thought you were
Facebook.
going to do. You do your number 5, then I'll do my number 5.
I'll-
Your number 4, my number 4, and we'll get down to
Okay,
number 1.
absolutely. All right,
But go ahead with the list.
let's go with Maurice Hawkins. His top 5 movies. Number 5, Gremlins.
Okay. You know what's funny? As a kid, you just watch Gremlins. You don't realize it's a Christmas movie.
Yes.
It's along the
It was
lines
just-
of Die Hard, but it's
Yeah.
it's along that line. So when you hear Gremlins, but Gremlins just came out at Christmas. They had a little Christmas thing going on. But really, all you remember is furry little scary animals don't get wet.
Yes, please don't get them wet.
That's,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what you remember about Gremlins.
Yeah. All right. His number 4, Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm right.
3,
who was that, by the way?
Maurice Hawkins.
Maurice. That's a
Yeah.
good pull, Maurice.
Yes. That was,
No, Winston, don't worry about Winston.
Look, no, you
don't
need
worry
to
about
Come
Winston.
On now, come on now.
You think he thinks he's in charge, but don't worry about Winston.
Number 3 was Scrooged.
You know what, Maury? That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Yep. I
You
like
don't
that
even
one.
remember who was in Scrooge.
Oh, stop it. Number 2 was Home Alone.
Okay.
Yep. And number 1 was Die Hard.
So okay, that was pretty strong. Maurice, you need to keep listening.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my
Yeah.
boy. That's my boy. You're
Right.
my boy, Blue.
Yeah.
So let's go over some of mine. I had.
Give me a number 5, and I'll give you my number 5.
I didn't necessarily. I didn't
give
rate
an
them.
order?
I didn't.
You told me to give me the top 5. You can't say top 5.
Oh, go top 5.
So, but you got top 5. If you do top 5, you
All right.
rank them.
Top 5. It's a Wonderful Life.
What are you, 80?
Yes, I told. Didn't we go over this already? I am 80.
Seriously. All right,
Plastic
Maurice,
surgery.
You're going to like my number
Oh, well,
5.
look at Wonderful Life. There you go, James Stewart.
Okay.
The whole 9. You know.
So Winston is 80. That's in black and white. He can only watch it on a tube. He can only watch it on a tube television. Doesn't even play on flat screen.
That's why it's at number 5.
Exactly. That's why it's at 5.
Color is
Right.
number 4.
So
That's why it's 5.
It's Maurice, right?
Yes,
Maurice.
Maurice.
I'm telling you, my number 5 is Jingle All the Way. Like,
Okay.
I didn't even know anybody still remembered Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
and it's funny that you brought up Sinbad, because Sinbad was actually the villain in Jingle All
Yes,
the Way.
yes.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger played the star in this, and he was Turbo Man.
Yes,
Right? And
yeah.
Sinbad was trying to get it. This movie came out in 1996. 1996. Jingle All the Way is underrated. It is probably one of the best. He's chasing people through the mall, trying to get Turbo Man. He punches a mom in the face. It's amazing. I'm telling you.
All right. Number 4 for let's go. Tripriere also added his.
All right, give me chips.
Let's get to chips.
Chip.
5. The Night Before.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Number 4, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Yeah.
Which one is that? The old cartoon or with the one with
No,
Jim
it's probably
Carrey?
Jim Carrey.
Okay. All right.
But I think that one was just called The Grinch. But what's one?
Number 3, Home Alone. Cool.
Home Alone, that's all
number
everybody-
2.
yeah.
Number 2. I'm sure you probably have this one. Elf.
Okay.
All right. Number 1 was Die Hard. What is up
Okay.
with Die Hard?
So okay. You give me your number.
All right. Number 4. I gotta go with A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Dude, you are seriously. Is the walker outside the studio? Seriously, is the
Look at that.
wheelchair?
It's Charlie
out there?
Brown. You got the little tree,
The
and
wheelchair.
on top of that,
I thought you said, is this a movie?
it is a movie.
Is this
it comes
a movie?
on
This
ABC
is a-
every single
That's
year.
it's a 30-minute television show.
I also like that movie.
Thank
It's a
you.
movie?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a movie.
It is a movie. We're going with movie.
Number 4 is Scrooge. Nothing better than Bill Murray when they're trying to. He has to stop him from stapling the mouse with the antlers, and it's great. And to see his, some of the greatest lines are in there.
There's
when
Scrooge.
when he gets in the elevator with the Grim Reaper, and he
Yes.
says, "Back up, big man."
Yes.
Like so, the Scrooge
was-
Scrooge is probably one of the like top is 1988.
Yes.
1988 Scrooge came out.
That's prime Bill
and,
Murray.
and
that was,
don't tell me you didn't get a tear at the end when he just gave everybody in there. Yeah, that's a good movie. All right.
Absolutely.
Number 3.
All right, number 3. I got to go with Home Alone.
Okay.
Home Alone, and only because
finally.
Daniel Stern from
Right.
Bethesda Chevy Chase,
Right.
my alma mater.
Yeah.
He was in that movie.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was in that movie during that time. That's when that movie was out.
Oh, wow.
And he was running around the track at the high school. And we're like, wait, that looks like dude from. Oh, that is it. Sneaky tall.
no,
But
nice.
then again, he was playing with midgets in that movie.
I got you. So number 3 for my number 3 right now, and along with everybody else, Die Hard.
Okay. All
Now, a
right.
lot of people don't think that this is a Christmas movie, and I can tell you when I first watched it, I didn't think it was a Christmas movie either.
Yeah.
I was just worried about Hans Gruber shooting me.
Yes,
right. That's
precisely.
everybody was worried about Hans and
They got
and getting in
stuff
trouble.
blowing up.
So right. So this is another 88 movie, 1988,
Right.
but. You were glued to the television show, not worried about the Christmas tree, not worried about
Yes.
the presents,
Yes.
not worried about what the kids were getting. But as I watched it 3 or 4 times, and it comes on every year at Christmas, because they start off with Christmas music, Run DMC.
Yeah.
They start off, and they
That's
end
good.
with Christmas
Yeah.
music. So to me, it's on my top Christmas list. Not that I wouldn't watch it in July, but they always just play it in December.
Right. Okay.
I'd watch it anytime. But that's my number 3.
All right. Number 2, Elf.
Okay.
Elf.
Yep.
Love. I mean, pretty much anything with Will Ferrell is going to
Yeah.
be.
Okay.
It's going to be top 5 of anything.
Sure.
Your
Number 2
dukes?
is Home Alone.
Okay.
Number 2
All
is
right.
Home Alone,
Swap.
and because when I was watching that, I always wanted to be left home alone.
Yes.
Like, I always-
You
how
just
many of
wanna
you
be
want to
home-
do that?
yes, absolutely.
Right. So
Absolutely.
after watching that movie, you're like, man, I could have rigged all that stuff up. I wanted to put the nails out. I wanted to put
Yes.
the paint cans out. I wanted to handle my Home Alone just like that. I wanted to defend my castle.
Yes.
Just like Macaulay Culkin.
Yes.
Just like Home Alone, and it comes on more in the Christmas time. And probably one of the greatest lines, and I used to use this as a radio sweeper, is when she's on the plane and she's Kevin! Yeah.
Yeah, that's your. That's
So,
that's
yes,
poignant.
1990 Home Alone.
Yes. All right. So number 1. Hold on. Let's go. Hold on. We got one more late minute entry. Colvin Underwood says Trading Places is the Xmas Christmas movie ever.
Okay.
Die Hard is a close to. All of them black and white films are interchangeable.
Okay. So, but nobody would think about Trading Places with Eddie Murphy as a
Again, you're talking about holiday
Jamie
movies
Lee
that
Curtis.
just were released in the holiday.
But if it comes on in July, I'm watching it.
Yes.
If it comes on in June, just because it's Eddie Murphy, and that was probably one of his better movies.
Yeah.
48 Hours, so those movies for Eddie Murphy were good with me. Beverly Hills Cop, yeah, I like all that.
Yeah. All right. Number 1.
Yep.
Fudge. A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
So I thought that was too easy.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought
Come
that
on.
was too easy.
Yeah, okay,
And,
all right.
and because they do on TNT or TBS, they do the 24
24
hours.
hours.
You can see
And
it
I'll
over and
watch
over and
it
over again
for
every
24
hours.
hours, yes.
I watch it all the time. That was my number 6. That one almost made it into my top,
Okay.
right? So that was how, I was like, is that one going to be used a lot? Everybody likes that. Everybody just shoot your eye out.
Yes.
That was one of those things that I was like, whatever. My number 1 is your number 2. I'm the same thing as you.
Yeah.
I said there's been a couple of Will Ferrell movies that I hadn't liked. Like, I don't need to do the Sherlock Holmes one, and but Elf and Step Brothers.
Yes.
And I've always said this time and time again. And Elf and Step Brothers are my 2 favorite. If I was ever stranded on an island and all I had was one DVD, and that was all I had to watch,
One of those two.
One of those two, Step
Yes.
Brothers or Elf. Because all the lines in that, it doesn't matter where you're at or what you're doing. Because last night when Santa showed up, I know him.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
him.
I know him.
Yes.
I know him. Yes.
Santa is my guy. So Elf is by far, when it comes on, no matter what's happening, it doesn't matter if August to February, I'm watching Elf.
That's funny.
Because Will Ferrell is my guy.
He is the guy. He
Like
is the man.
when Will Ferrell did the spring training, going around to everybody's spring training.
That was such a good HBO special.
Oh, my
Absolutely.
God.
It was so good.
Oh, my God. He played on so many baseball teams and played every different position, 9 different teams.
That was pretty good. He's revolutionary. All right, we only have about a minute left in show. Your keys to the Giants game.
I think you got to keep Haskins with his clean jersey and make sure that he's not on his back. He doesn't take a lot of sacks. He's a big guy, but I think you got to find some space and understand the game. Haskins needs to read through the progressions and make sure that he's smart. Let's play smart. Let's not get hurt. Let's understand that you are the future.
All right. Unfortunately, we didn't get to Anthony Rendon leaving and going to the Angels.
That was my Christmas list, man.
That was a great Christmas wish.
Not that he left, but I wanted him back.
I guess what's plan B? Josh Donaldson? We will see.
We'll see.
But that's going to be it for us on Redskins Relaunch. We got about maybe 10 seconds left. Each episode of Redskins Relaunch you can catch on DMVSTREAM.com. You can catch us there. With that said, we will see you here next week, hopefully for a Redskins win against the Giants. We bid you adieu. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
It's good. All right, so Elf? Okay. All right, that's good. That's good. I like that. I like it.
This content is brought to you by Dental Associates. For more than 39 years, Dr.